Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to Vermontitude.com, Reformer.com, Brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Today, we're talking about an event which is rapidly developing. I should lead with that, and helping develop this idea called Cranksgiving, we'll explain that more in a minute, is Jeremy Kirk, who is the pastor of the First Congregational Church in West Brattleboro, or the United Church of Christ. Is that?
That's right. That's our denomination.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's talk about it. Cranksgiving is a concept that Jeremy presented actually to me, and we looked it up, and it's just a way to kind of bring the bike community together and donate some food for the people who are food insecure, right?
Yeah, that's right. Cranksgiving is there are Cranksgiving events all across the country, mainly in bigger cities among bike messenger and cargo bike cultures, and it involves a day of fun, collecting food and bringing it to a central point in order to fight food insecurity.
Yeah,
and we've got that here in Vermont, and so we are going to do a version of it here this year.
All right. So I guess let's get into where we're going to be doing this, and that will happen at the First Congregational Church in West Brattleboro. That's going to be the drop-off point. We are looking to do this on November 8th. We're going to run the drop-off points between 8 a.m. and noon. So it's just going to be a 4-hour window for all these bikes to show up, make contributions. But we're not just going to limit it to bikes. We want more bikes to show up. We're going to have cool prizes. But tell us a little bit about the food shelf at your church.
Yeah, well, a lot of Vermonters, including people who live in West Brattleboro, were surprised that the 2020 census informed us that West Brattleboro is actually the poorest submunicipality or subset of a larger area in Vermont. So it's surprising to a lot of people, but our part of our town here in Brattleboro, West Brattleboro, is actually a place that has the most poverty in our state. And so part of what we do as a church, one of the most important things we do is we try to supply material aid with and in collaboration with poor folks in order to sustain the community. Practically what that looks like is we do have food available for people when they need it. And one of the ways that we do that is we have our little food pantry out front, which is available 24/7. Anybody can pull up right in front of the church at 880 Western Ave. That's right in front of Academy School next to the fire station. And they can take what they need for their families. We notice that the time it's most often used is at the times of drop-off and pickup from Academy School. And we're also close to the Dallum Chalet, which is emergency shelter for a lot of our neighbors. And so we also notice at certain times that things are gone from there that are specifically bought to try to support that community. So it's a small little food shelf, but it's restocked daily. And it really helps for a lot of folks that can't as easily access downtown Brattleboro or other places where they get food.
Right. So it's this is the thing that we're going to be working towards to kind of help stock those in. But we're going to be collaborating with some of the other area shelves, like the Food Works at Groundworks Collaborative. We'll coordinate with them. If we have a certain run of perishable items, then we will look to contribute that. So Cranksgiving, it's all about bikes, hence crank. So we're gonna pull the biking community in to do this very specific and fun one-day fundraiser. But to raise money, I think what we had sort of discussed a little bit was you can the week prior to, you can say for every mile you do, somebody can donate $1. You can bring that money directly to the First Congregational Church in West Brattleboro, and we'll count that. Probably a buck a pound. Does that sound?
Sounds great to me. Yeah, absolutely. Although we'd love to see a bunch of bikes. We can't wait to see all the bikes show up with food, whether it is the cargo bike community, e-bike community, whether it's those road racers that are zipping through the back roads all through the summer. We'd love to see people bring food. Also, if you're not able to do it on a bike, we will, of course, still have a way for you to fully participate.
So, full disclosure, this is something that we are doing. Jeremy and I are organizing on behalf of those who are food insecure. We are running most of the information through the Borough's Facebook page and website. So if you follow Boroughs, you'll begin to see things popping up this week and how you can contribute, how you can join in, how you can register. Let's get a little bit into the food, though, that we would like to see show up, because I know there's often times where people who are very well-meaning, who are very well-intended, will kind of just buy as much as they can. But that's not necessarily, we're not going to refuse anything like that, of course. Yeah. But we're just asking maybe a little bit more, like with the dignity in mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pete, there's, I've noticed in my job, I get to see people when they are really a lot of times feeling very generous, and they come and they say, hey, I want to provide something. And a lot of times what people think of is they think of, wait, we need as much food, as much inexpensive food as possible. And there are a lot of resources for staples. And that may be partially what we need. But what's a great opportunity is to buy that higher quality item, stuff that people can use to bring home to their families and make dinner quickly. Just very practically, what that looks like is it looks like maybe, instead of buying 10 boxes of the cheapest mac and cheese, go for the nicer one on the shelf. We're able to offer people here not just material to survive, but also dignity, because these are not just the poor of the area. These are our neighbors, our friends. We hope this is our community. And so just what you would make for your family, grab something that you would make for your family. And then we communicate dignity, which is just as important as just the basics that people need to survive.
Right. And again, we're looking to do Cranksgiving, which will be a fun thing. We're going to have some T-shirts made that we'll be able to hand out. We're going to be accepting these donations. There's going to be prizes. Again, if you go to the Borough Sports Facebook page, there'll be more information there, and we're going to try to get the registrations all online. There'll be some press releases. There'll be things that pop up as more information unfolds. We're going to do a very specific cargo bike challenge, which we're looking forward to, and we'll announce some prizes for that. It's all in great and good fun. Cash, gift cards to...
Pete, can you say more about cargo and e-bikes? Because I was a big mountain bike and road bike racer, but I want to hear more about this phenomenon that suddenly everybody's got an e-bike or a cargo bike. And in case anybody else doesn't know what that is, will you tell us what that is?
So the cargo bike is it's not unique to the area, but Brattleboro is a real area that sort of embraces the cargo bike and have really just replaced cars with cargo bikes. So there's these big long things you can often see moms and dads dropping their kids off at school on these things. They have a tremendous amount of cargo capacity, so they these huge side panniers that they can just fill up. They can put baskets in. Some of them have these front buckets in them. So I mean, these things really have a lot of potential to carry a lot of weight and deliver a lot of food on November 8th. That's great. So, and especially as most of them are also e-assist. So, and of course they have to be because they're bigger and heavier bikes.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about, if we could, why First Congregational Church in West Brattleboro. I'm not somebody who is overly religious. And you and I have had this conversation many times. Tell us a little bit about the church. And I know that some people have some, misgivings about certain churches or lump them all in the same. But the First Congregational Church or the United Church of Christ is a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, it makes a lot of sense to see one religion represented in certain ways, especially with our news media and our access to so many big dramatic things that are happening in the world today. There are different types of Christians, just like there are different types of people of other religious perspectives and differences between people of different philosophical perspectives. Not all Republicans or Democrats are the same as everyone in their party, despite how much it might seem that people are trying to put us into certain categories all the time. So the United Church of Christ is a progressive Christian denomination that came together in the 20th century, mid-20th century, in order to try to unify a lot of other originally kind of New England and East Coast Christian denominations. And our focus is on our actions specifically towards people in need. So while people have different opinions about this regarding what we're supposed to do as Christians, we're pretty clear that we're supposed to be caring for the poor and the disenfranchised and the oppressed. That also means questioning the systems that produce oppression and disenfranchisement. So our idea is that the radical love ethic of Jesus is not something to primarily be worshiped as something that happened, but it's something to embody and do now. So I'll work with someone of any different religion or no religion or New Age spiritual perspective to do what we think is most important, which is taking care of what we believe are God's children, God's creation materially. That means not just thoughts and prayers. It means thoughts and prayers if it gets our butts out of the seats and out into the community, helping people sustain themselves. And it's not pray to play. Of course, anybody, we would love to have them at church on Sunday, but we think we need to do this and work in the community to fight poverty and the conditions that cause poverty. That is our response to our faith. It is not a trick to get people just to join our church.
Right. And which is the reason why, I think Jeremy and I will work very well on this, because we just want to help those who honestly are having a hard time. A little bit of a hand up, not as opposed to a handout. Just get you through some tough times. The holidays are coming up, so a little bit of play on the words in Cranksgiving to correlate with Thanksgiving, but we're not necessarily just looking for cans of cranberry sauce. We are looking for all kinds of food that will help people get through their everyday, not just one day.
That's right, and also aside from us organizing this as folks that, as far as I know, neither you or I are concerned where our next meal is going to come from.
Right.
We are folks that are in a position to be able to do this, but we will also collaborate with poor people, communities that are in need, so that they can participate or even direct where the food goes. Right. So it's not just us doing something purely as a charity model, but it is a bit of a bridge to what we call a mutual aid sort of action.
Right.
So we are helping our neighbors because we know that we need them. And we as a community then can build relationships with one another that are based on dignity.
Great. So once again, it's going to be Saturday, November 8th. Basically the big drop-off time to kind of bring in all your donations will be between 8 a.m. and noon on that November 8th at the First Congregational Church in West Brattleboro. What was the physical address for that again?
It's 880 Western Ave. And you can, of course, if you forget that, you can go to the borough's Facebook site to see this event. Yeah, 880 Western Ave, right in front of Academy School, next to the fire station.
All right, more information to come. Pastor Jeremy Kirk, thanks for jumping on Vermontitude today.
Thank you, Fish. Thanks for having me.